Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Unstoppable Pursuit podcast. We are pushing the limits on business, life, and health. And today, we're talking about adversity. I'm Brian Benson, and this is my co-host. No one lifts weights like Mike Stahl. No one drinks protein like Mike Stahl. No one wears tight t-shirts like Mike Stahl.
Baby Gap in the house.
All right, Mike Stahl's here. Love this gentleman. I just like to have fun with the beginning on that.
Of course, man.
Mike's going to read out of his book, Dominate Your Day. Check it out on michaelstahl.com. And let's do it, man. Let's get right into it.
All right, keep adversity in mind when you're listening to this. And this can actually go with attitude last week, which we discussed as well. Your attitude determines everything. We've heard the phrase since we were kids, you own it, you wear it. People see it. It's not based off of your circumstances and surroundings. It's based off of what's in your heart and how you view your environment. It is intrinsic. It's a vibe you put out there and expect back. So ask yourself, what attitude am I displaying on a daily basis? Most of the time it is difficult to control the things that happen to us on a daily basis, and I would say it is a bad strategy to try to do so. Life has a fascinating way of throwing things at us from all angles. Take note on this. Responding more so than simply reacting is going to allow you to handle the adversity that comes with striving to meet your goals. Attitude to me is everything. You need to be flexible, it's durable, and it's strong. Your attitude reflects who you are as a person and the way you react based off of that adversity. It's the driving force behind so many great things. But if adversity is not handled correctly, it can be a true roadblock to your own success. Are you a glass half full or glass half empty type of person? Why me versus I know I am going to grow and take something from this. Comparing yourself to others versus knowing there is nobody quite like you, the list goes on. Attitude starts a chain of events that can be so powerful it could completely change your life and others around you. Dig deep and understand your attitude, and the way you handle adversity is the most precious piece of real estate that you're going to have, truly. I've personally seen individuals with the best attitudes reap some of life's greatest blessings through adversity. After all, what you put out there into this world, you will tend to get back in abundance. And a quote from an English proverb, you may find the worst enemy or best friend in yourself.
Dude, I just got so many notes from that.
I knew that was a good one.
That was a great one, man. That got me jacked up this morning, you know. Honestly, so many of the things that you said in there were just incredible. And the one thing I want to talk about just before we get into this, if you aren't willing to face adversity head on and, you know, and go and push through those uncomfortable moments, and you're okay with mediocrity, then, you know, then this podcast probably isn't for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not something that, you know, because if you want the success, whatever that definition is for you, like, you're going to have to face adversity. You're going to have to go through tough times. You're going to have to do those things, and it's just the way you go through it. So everything that you just mentioned in there got me all pumped up.
Let's do this.
Let's talk about adversity. You know, what is it? And let's kind of go through some real-life examples.
I think that adversity in its most simple form is just a challenge in your life, and it can come in many different forms. It doesn't matter what you call it, tribulation, hardship, challenge, difficulty. It's something that comes your way that is going to have to force you to adapt and rise to the occasion, basically. So, again, it doesn't matter what you call it, but the one thing that's guaranteed in life is that you are going to have adversity in your life. So what are you going to do about it? Step number one is accepting the fact that it's going to be present.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that flexibility and adaptability to change. So many of us fear change, you know, it's a huge fear for us, but I think that once that thing happens, like, you have to be able to maneuver and be flexible and understand that it's just going to happen, and it's okay. The world's probably not going to end. You know, assess the situation. So some of the real world examples, like, one is the Airbnb example. I listened to an interview with those guys, and I mean, basically their business was not working out. They were going to run out of money. They were totally done. Like, they were not going to make it. And during the election, they came out with Captain McCain's. It was a cereal, and then the Obama O's cereal, and they were selling cereal and eating and living off cereal to fund their business, to make sure that they could make it, to push through. But, like, most people could have said, oh man, we're running out of money, we're not going to make it. They are so creative that they created something else to make money for them to continue their dream.
Right, yeah, that's a good one. One of my personal favorites is Starbucks. For those that don't know, I think the original person that started Starbucks was denied a bank loan like over 200 times. You know, and if you think about that, I mean, literally 200 times. Like, who has the patience and the perseverance to do something like that? And I'm pretty sure that that person now is not regretting their decision to, you know, embrace that adversity and use it to their advantage. Obviously, Starbucks is one of the biggest coffee businesses in the world,
Yeah.
you know. Another personal favorite of mine, obviously because of the basketball connection, not saying that I am Michael Jordan.
You're close.
I thought I was when I was younger, but really I'm not. Shout out to Heidelberg on this for me playing basketball. Yeah, Michael Jordan, most people think that he was just cut from the basketball team. He wasn't. He was cut from varsity. He actually made JV, but you know, they say that he went home and cried in his bedroom because he wasn't good enough to play on varsity. Well, I don't really think I need to tell the rest of the story on who Michael Jordan is, but again, a great example of adversity, using it to your advantage, and just like just having that eye of the tiger basically, and going and getting things done basically.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think gives people that, you know, that eye of the tiger kind of feeling? Like, there's a difference between, I mean, how many other MJs are there? Millions of the people who got cut from varsity and then just said, I'm not good enough, I'm going to give up. I want to know what made him different, do you think, you know? What do you think was that?
I think that it's based off of someone's character, and not everyone has it, you know? Like, I think that when you're backed into a corner, if you take two people and you back them into a corner, I don't know if both of them are going to get out of that corner, but I think one is going to have a sense of urgency, and he or she is backed into a corner where they have no option other than to succeed, because there's no other options on the table. Your back is against a corner, figure out a way to do it. You know?
Yeah, I think you have to be. Yeah, it's the glass half full kind of idea. Is hey, look. If you don't make varsity or something happens, like, you have to understand that you can't, like, okay, maybe there's a next opportunity or the next opportunity. Oh, maybe this next time I try out, I'll make it. Or, okay, you didn't, so maybe the next one you'll make it, maybe the next one. And you just continue pushing forward every single day, getting better, learning from the mistakes, learning from the failures, learning from the adversity. Like, that's what these people have done that I think is so different. It's like the Starbucks guy. He probably went to the first loan. They said no. Okay, well, what did I do there that was wrong? Like,
exactly.
They learn from it. They
yeah.
learn from adversity. And I think that may play a huge difference in what other people say, okay, adversity, it didn't work out, I'm not going to do this anymore. Or the person who says, this was a great learning experience, now I know what I could do next time to make it happen.
Right.
So what do we do, Mike?
Well, and that leads perfectly into, I think, our next point is, again, it's glass half full or glass half empty, and if you see opportunity in that, for me, anytime I face adversity, I assess the situation. What are the pros? What are the cons? Okay, maybe I need to reevaluate my situation, which I think maybe like the Starbucks guy did, you know. He reevaluated, okay, this didn't work the first time. How am I going to adapt and change for the next one? Okay, that didn't work. And you're always evolving, you know, and you're always assessing the situation. And then obviously after you do that, you need to make a choice, make that next step and move forward. If it works out, awesome, keep going. If it doesn't, stop, reevaluate, adapt, and then make your next move.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, there's so many different ways to get to success. It doesn't even matter. Like, so your course is going to be all over the place. I mean, but you have to make that choice that you're going to get there no matter what.
Exactly.
I think that choice thing is huge, because that is just like, I am choosing to be successful no matter what. And then that's going to keep you motivated, because then when something happens, it's like, well, I still choose to be successful, so some way, somehow I'm going to push through this hardship or this thing that's happening in my life.
Exactly. It's a choice, like what you said earlier. And I think that's what separates the successful people in any shape or form, business, life, and health, and the unsuccessful, is that, listen, we all have choices to make. And if you take the same situation of adversity and you give it to two different people, you might get two different outcomes, because one made a choice that they weren't going to be a victim to their circumstances.
Yes.
The other one felt sorry for themselves and said, you know what, I'm just going to accept the situation as is, mediocrity, whatever, then roll over, and that's your option, but you have to make that choice.
Right. And look, hey, if you're fine with mediocrity and you're happy and things, then that's great. Like, that is totally for you. I'm happy for you. Maybe you've hit your happiness, because it does come back to, like, happiness too, Actually, I was listening to this really great talk by Deepak Chopra the other day, and he was talking about happiness, and he was asking people, like, along the line, like, okay, like, what do you want? He's like, oh, I want, to send my kids to college. Okay, why do you want to do that? Well, I need a good job. Well, why do you need a good job? And he kept asking, and finally the guy said, shut up. I just want to be happy. And then he could build from there. So once you start with happiness, you can move forward and say, I'm already happy, but, like, I know I can continue this journey now. Like, so start with happiness and move forward, So many people just roll over to mediocrity, and it's just like, you're not even happy. Like,
right.
be
And
happy.
it's an easy thing to do, though. I mean, a lot of people want to take shortcuts, and they want, they want the easy way, but I'm telling you, the most successful people in any field face so much adversity along the way that it's, like, not even funny. You are not going to have an easy path. And if you do, my guard would go up if things were easy, because everyone was saying yes to me. I was having things handed to me. Well, then, you don't have the strength to maintain that. You don't know how to maintain that. I think that adversity builds character, and you need to be more concerned with your character. That's who you truly are, more so than just your reputation, which is what others think of you. Because eventually your true character is going to come through.
Absolutely.
Our next point on the agenda is the fact that life is adversity. Talk a little bit about that, Brian.
I mean, it is what it is. Every day in your life, I am sure, no matter what happens, in your daily life, you face adversity. I mean, we have a lot of teacher friends that are watching us right now, and I think that, how much adversity do you guys face every single day in your jobs? I mean, you guys actually have the toughest jobs out there, and probably not paid well enough to do what you do. Because
shout out to all the teachers.
Shout out to the teachers who are, educating the future leaders, the future generation, which is amazing. But that's the reality is, like, every day in life, something is going to happen. Something's not going to go your way. It's always changing. Success is adversity. It's a lifelong journey. I mean, you just have to be comfortable with uncomfortability. Like, it kind of goes back to what we just talked about, being flexible and adaptable and things, but that's just what it is. Life is adverse, and unless you're walking around as a dead person, which there are a lot of dead people walking around.
A lot of walking zombies
Isn't
around
there?
here, just going through the motions.
There is,
You know what I
right?
mean? Hitting that snooze button. Well, you remember this. If you hit that snooze button, you're going to end up working for somebody who didn't, okay?
That's right. That's so true, man. It's like, there are more dead people walking around on this planet than I've ever seen in my life, because they're just accepting it. They're just saying, I don't want to put myself in this adverse situation. It scares me. I don't like it. But it's like, okay, fine. Then you're going to just stay where you are. Then you will continue to just be where you are, and you just have to move through life and every day be prepared for something to happen and be able to assess the problem and push forward.
Right, and there's things that, it's obviously, we can't control everything that happens every single day. Like, let's say you have a checklist of 20 things that you think are going to happen, and you wake up, well, 2 of those things out of the 20 may happen. But again, the acceptance of the fact that the one thing in life that's guaranteed is adversity, what are you going to do about it? It's not going to go away. Again, it goes back to making a choice, being able to adapt, and learn how to control the things that you can and just be epic with those, and then let go of the things that you can't control. Okay, and a lot of times you can't control your circumstances, but again, like our previous episode, let's say your circumstance, all hell's breaking loose, you can still control your attitude, and you can respond to that adversity in a way that benefits you, your team, and everyone else around you.
Right. Like you can't control the circumstance. You only can control your response for a better outcome. And that's the only thing you can control, is that response piece to equal a better outcome. Because we talked about this. Either way, there's going to be an outcome, no matter what.
Right.
And you can control that by responding in certain ways. But I really love that acceptance, and that's self-awareness too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think my voice just cracked when I said that.
That's self-awareness.
Hello.
Welcome to the Unstoppable Pursuit podcast. Brian Benson and Michael Stahl.
Oh man, man, oh man! I'm too much coffee, too much pre-workout. But yeah, exactly. The self-awareness piece of that is just understanding that things are going to happen. You know, that accepting of it, because too many people don't accept it, and when you don't accept it, you deny it, and then you push it away.
And then you're just being ignorant.
Yeah.
Because you know that it's going to happen.
Right.
You know?
It's like stop sweeping shit under the rug and move forward.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like face it head on or get out of the way because somebody else is going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the reality of
Like,
it.
come here, adversity. What's that?
Yeah.
Huh? Boom.
I know.
Right there, right hook.
You
know
have
what I
to
mean?
face it head on and plow through it, or else the Starbucks, the Airbnbs, the Michael Jordans of the world who did face it and push forward are going to be more successful and do the things that they want to do. And you have to be able to do it, because if you push it off, you're in denial, and, well, you can just turn the podcast off now.
Right.
So,
Delete.
yeah, exactly. So how can we use adversity as a tool?
Well, I think that, there's a lot of different tools that we have on our journeys, business, life, and health, but I think that, attitude last week was a big tool. I think this week, using adversity as a tool. Adversity can be used for motivation. It can be used to maximize everything that we've already talked about in this podcast. Like, you can use adversity to channel that fear that you feel and get rid of it. You can use it for motivation. You can use it for a better attitude. You can use it to enhance your leadership. So again, go back and watch and listen to all our previous podcasts, because adversity is such a major tool to self-growth and, like you said, self-awareness and channeling that and just using it to your advantage. Like, okay, if you're going to throw rocks at me, aka adversity, I'm going to use those rocks to build a house.
Right.
You throw bricks at me, I'm going to lay the foundation to something really special.
I totally agree with you 100%, and it really is. Use it at, like the Michael Jordan example. We have motivation up there, but adversity is such a motivating, factor. Actually, I do a lot of studying of the comfort zone. It's kind of one of my things I love and obsessed with, on how people step out of their comfort zone. But there really is there's three different columns on the comfort zone. There's the comfort zone, then there's the growth zone, and then there's the panic zone. And most people don't go out of that growth, or go out of the panic zone, the comfort zone, because they're worried about certain things, right? But the people living in the growth zone, they use things like stress, anxiety, adversity as a motivator to stay there, to keep achieving. But then there's that panic zone. Sometimes you can go too far. Like, sometimes you can push yourself too far. Too much stress, too much adversity, too much anxiety, and it will actually decrease your performance. So just understand that there is a fine line that you need to worry about. That is, okay, I'm in the growth zone, or I'm in the panic zone, or I'm in the comfort zone. So just try to, whatever feels most comfortable to you, but it deals with a little bit of uncomfortability. I'm getting a phone call.
Yeah, what I would add to that, the improvement to realize your full potential. I honestly don't think that anyone would ever reach their full potential if they were not challenged with adversity in some shape or form. If you wake up, if you don't have a job, you're sleeping in, there's no sense of urgency, nothing challenging you, more than likely you're probably not going to reach your full potential. It's not going to take you out of your comfort zone. So again, embrace adversity. Like, sometimes it's going to hit you, and it's going to hit you hard, and it may knock you down for a little bit.
Yeah, right.
But you have to believe, glass half full, that you are going to get up. You're going to assess. You're going to reevaluate the situation. You're going to jot down, well, what can I do to take something positive out of this and move forward.
Well, let's talk about that and take them into the challenge at this point now, because you just sort of mentioned it.
Yeah.
But, so the challenge that Mike and I want to give to you all is that the next time that you are in an adverse situation, take a second to yourself and jot down 3 ways that you can change it for a more positive benefit, for a better outcome. So, I mean, you have to really assess that situation and see where things can go. But with every problem, there is opportunity. I promise you that. With every problem, there is opportunity. So take a moment, take 5 minutes, jot down the next move, and then just go out and crush it, because I know you can, you know?
Yeah, I love that challenge because, again, there is opportunity in adversity every single time. And I love the TV series Suits, and Harvey Specter on there is famous, and he said it many times on the show, is when you are backed into a corner, he asks his co-star, he goes, what do you do? And his co-star says, you find the other 73 ways to get out.
That's exactly
Because
right.
most people would see 0. But I'm telling you, there are ways to get yourself out of a corner and use that adversity to your advantage. So again, jot down those ideas and make it happen. Yeah. Health tip of the week.
Woo, woo, woo! Let's get
this,
healthy.
Yeah, this week we're going to talk about cholesterol. Everyone hears cholesterol and they get scared. They start to panic. Oh, I don't want my cholesterol to be very, very high. Well, here's the deal. There was a study done. It's called the famous Framingham study. And basically they followed about 60,000 people over the course of the years, and they measured their cholesterol, okay? And at the end, those who had desirable cholesterol less than 200, did I talk about this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Less than 200, that was desirable cholesterol, and then they had a bunch of people that were over 200 on their cholesterol, between 200 and 225, which is technically high cholesterol. They outperformed all the people that had desirable cholesterol under 200 on every single test that they had made them go through, which was like reaction time, memorization, all these different skills. So what that study proved is we do need cholesterol on a cellular level. You do not want to crush your cholesterol all the way down to a very, very low level. That can cause a lot of issues in the body. 50% of every cell membrane wall is cholesterol. We have cholesterol in our brain. So, you know, I'm not a huge fan of taking statins to lower your cholesterol because I meet with a lot of people and they come in and they feel like crap. They have joint pain. Their libido's low. They have no energy. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? And they're like, well, my doctor's telling me to take a statin. And I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to replace your doctor's advice. I'm not a doctor, okay? But what the research shows is that if you are eating healthy and exercising, your cholesterol will probably go into somewhat of a normal range. And if it's a little bit over 200, do not be concerned because, again, the research shows that we do need cholesterol, okay? But just kind of letting it go into a natural range based off of you eating healthy and exercising is my recommendation.
No, I love that, man. That's just super helpful for any of us.
And one last thing, like people think that eating eggs causes your cholesterol to go bad, right? That's completely false. In fact, they found that eating whole eggs actually improves your cholesterol profile. Like Time magazine back in the day put an egg on the front of the magazine and said, the egg, the good, the bad, the ugly. Well, the egg is like the #1 most nutritious food on planet Earth. So Time magazine, you know, you're eating your own words on that one because there's no validity to that. So eat the whole egg in the morning. It'll improve your cholesterol. God bless.
No, I think that's awesome, man, because I just ate a ton of hard-boiled eggs this week. So
I know. I can smell it coming out of your butt.
Oh, my God. All right. Hey, do some creative visualization, do some meditation, get yourself in the right mind frame going into this weekend and next week. And, hey, I mean, Mike and I are so grateful and thankful for everybody who joins us live. Thank you for everybody who just listens and you know, is there for us and supports us on YouTube, on Facebook, on any of our social channels. Thank you so much. We love you all. And, hey, we'll see you on the next episode.
See ya.